Over 50 million views. You're listening to The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.
I hope you hang your mother.
Over 50 million views. You're listening to The Joe Cronin Show.
CNN masturbated all fucking day. Dude, I will eat your fucking asshole out and then spit it into your mouth, baby bird style. Who wants to go? Call the show. I'll fuck your ass! I want to kill myself! If I think it sucks, I tell you!
The Joe Cronin Show.
Oh my god. I'd rather listen to... Dude, Michael in the chat just said, I'd rather listen to Bjork scream for 3 hours than watch Raw. Jesus Christ, dude. Wow! Monday Night Raw. Holy hell, man. Holy shit, dude. That was fucking tough to watch. That was really tough to watch tonight. For me. There was a couple okay things that happened. Pretty good stuff. Couple interesting things that I kind of thought was alright. That I kind of liked, you know. But we're going to find out. We're going to find out, man. That was... It is what it is tonight on Monday Night Raw.
Where am I living?
Ah!
Where am I living?
Ah!
Where am I living? Right now.
That was the most retarded ending to Raw that I've seen in a while. It really just made me wanna fuck Debbie until cum comes out her eyeballs.
Until, oh god, Lily Pad Cronin. Lily Pad Cronin, thank you for that. What the fuck does that mean? Thank you for the 1050 to start the show tonight. The lily pad's in the house. Well, you know what, though, about that segment, even though Raw went off the air and that was it, it was more the fact that, like, that's all we got tonight and now this is the end. People are more down about that, I think, than anything. Like, the fact that it's like, okay, this show is over now and this is all I got. But honestly, that ending is going to build a lot more heat with Rusev situation. I mean, really, like the next time we see Rusev and Lana again, I feel like you will get pretty good boos and pretty good response because people are going to start buying in a little bit because they're so pissed off at this point from this. I guess that's the positive I can take from this, as dumb and ridiculous as that ending was and everything else. You know, I don't know, man. That's all I can say about it. Like, all I can take from it. I'm not sure. But I don't care for it. So it is what it is. There was some parts of Raw that I did think were good. Or that I thought were like pretty good. Like, all right, that was pretty good, I guess, but you know, whatever. It's nothing, it's not even close to enough to save this show though tonight. Several times I thought about, you know, I could just say that I'm dying and not have a review tonight. I could just go to bed right now on this couch. Like, I slept. I got good sleep last night, which is not normal for me. I got good sleep, which is very bizarre that I got good sleep. And I woke up, you know, well rested. And still, several times during this show tonight, I was tempted. Like, you remember when anybody out there, you know, when you go to work or you went to school, and maybe some of you guys are responsible, unlike me, but you remember when you like stayed up and partied or something a couple times too many, or whatever it was, or you just didn't, whatever, you just stayed up late. and you paid for it the next day because you were so tired it was torturous. So tired you wanted to call into work. So tired you wanted to sneak off into some nap at work somehow or in your car or whatever it is, and you're just dying. You're fighting to stay awake, and you almost are tempted to say, I'm leaving work today. I'm sick or something, or just whatever, because you're that tired. You're that fucked up. That I felt that way several times during this show tonight. And I was like, I just want to go. I just want sleep. Please let me sleep. I kept thinking that. I want to go to bed. And then by 10:30, I was like, maybe I could take a little nap right now. I'll miss 15 minutes. Whatever. It's all shit. And I did, and I stayed awake. But right now, man, feel like shit. I asked you guys what I should do this morning. Should I drink the cran or coffee or whatever? Everybody said coffee. And this is one of those nights. In a few minutes, I'm going to go upstairs and make a pot of coffee. And you guys remember a couple weeks ago, do you remember that? I was dead for the first 35 minutes of this show. I was sitting here like dead, like quiet, kind of tired, just and then I said, Jake, I'm going to make coffee. I made coffee. I got back. I drank the coffee. And for about an hour, I was hyped. Like I was ready to go. I needed that. Rod did that to me tonight. This is the cure for sleep, for fucking insomnia. This is the cure for insomnia. If you cannot sleep, this fucking show will put you to sleep. Some way, somehow, something. It will put you to sleep. Jake DeMarco is here, and he is queer.
Get used to it.
Oh, really? I will get used to it.
I'm queer. I swallow for Joe. I mean,
whoa!
What the hell?
You should have said I take it in the rear. Come on.
I didn't want to fully rhyme there.
That would have been awesome if you'd said that, man. If you'd said, That's
here. That's too cliche.
Queer. I'm fully something in the rear. I don't know. We're going to take, what are you, Sean's view? I'm in the rear. I'm queer.
That's why I didn't want to rhyme all the way.
Did you hear him call the show the other day?
I did. That was funny as hell.
What the fuck?
You got Tommy and then Sean's view. It was a real special podcast.
Yeah, special needs one. It's been a while since...
I don't know how to use a forklift. That's what I knew. That's what I got from tonight. Start it, or I'm going to burn you down. That was the dumbest goddamn thing.
Start that fucking forklift, you asshole.
How many times have we gotten the forklift pin in just... it's not exciting. It's like that. They have to bring back things.
They did that because of AEW. They tried to do the AEW. They were like, we got to do that too. Like, we can do that.
But AEW, if they do something, even if it's an old thing, unfortunately, they have the benefit of, because even if it's a tired trope at this point, it's never been done within their company. So essentially, they can kind of get away with, murder at this point.
Yeah, but no,
doesn't mean the fans are going to accept it.
No, the point is the story. The point
is
the AEW story. It was like Cody comes out. Oh, now you're going to come up here, you bitch. Like, they got the blowhorns. They got the blowhorns to interfere with the interview. Then there's only 1 versus 4, and then there's another guy, and they make fun of that guy, and another guy, a scarf, and then, they're coming up to get us. Oh, lock ourselves in this room. Oh, yeah, give me your scarf, MJF. Smash, fucking. And now a brawl breaks out, and then, I got a ticket. Like, so many layers to that.
Holding that thing out like a crucifix.
Yeah, like,
for his life.
I got a ticket. Like, so many different things to that. But this isn't that. This is, again, WWE just like, we're just going to have a back, whatever, Falls Con Anywhere, like, and then it looked all in slow motion and really goofy. Like, they've just done so much more in the past that this is like watching nothing. They probably could have put on a better match in the ring.
I mean, every now and again, they have to go with certain tropes that, WWE repeats themselves. They get that forklift pin. They get the ring breaking. They get the cell, or cage, where the wall breaks through. They have like certain things that just have to happen every 3 to 5 years, and they repeat themselves in a cycle just because the newer fans have never seen that before. So like, oh, wow, that's really cool. But now for, regular fans that are returning, this is their 3rd time, 4th time, or 5th time seeing this supposed OMG moment, if you're going to steal from the games. And it's
think about the ring breaking. It's like, dude, since I started watching WWE in 1988, I mean, I never saw the ring break until when it broke, with the Big Show?
And Lesnar, I believe, was... Yeah, and then since then, it was like, it was a while, and then it was with Mark Henry, and then all of a sudden we got it 3 times with Braun happening. They had to repeat themselves multiple times.
3 times of Braun? Are you kidding?
Yeah, I can think of 2 right off the top of my head, but
Wow, I didn't
And
know
it's
they
like-
did it that many times.
Yeah, they kept bringing it back with Braun. You know, they have to, and that's the thing. It's like, okay, so you do it once, it's that wow moment, and then they did it again, and then they did it again. It's like, oh, come on, you know, like let something feel organic and special. And that was the problem tonight. Right off the bat, they opened with a shit opening, but a good match to start the night. But there was no reason to care about this match, so it didn't matter who won or who lost here. There was just no emotion whatsoever. They put on a good fight. They gave them a solid 15 minutes, but no one was at all interested that the Kabuki Warriors turned on Paige. Did anyone honestly give a damn that they turned on them?
They had to turn them again. They had to like triple heel turn them because
Yeah,
every
they had
other
to
one
make it, you know,
because it doesn't work.
emphatically state that these are
They
the
are
bad
heel.
guys. These women are naughty. You know, that's their go-to for this. So they get the mist in the face because they can't hit Paige. You know, she can't take any bumps right now post-surgery with her neck, if at all, probably none.
Right, great idea too. Then
Yeah, so the mist works, but it just had, I don't know, it was I felt it was poorly delivered. It just, you know, they take the microphone from her. We don't speak Japanese, so you know, them speaking, ranting basically and laughing doesn't really register much to us.
well, that's the whole
That's
thing.
the point and gimmick behind it. I get it. It's just not good. The crowd really didn't give a shit that she got the mist in her face. I like what somebody said, that it was just a Wicked Witch Halloween costume. That was funny. But
They don't want the Kabuki Warriors to be heel. That's what the WWE doesn't understand. They
Yeah.
don't want them to be heel.
no,
The people
no.
don't want to boo them. You
No,
idiots.
they want to cheer for the women, and but they don't want them to. So you get Becky to come out there, and why are they fighting? We don't know. What's going on? We don't know. Is Becky going to win? Of course she's going to win. So there's no drama. There's no tension. They're not going to have Becky lose. The only way they have her lose is if it's not a clean finish, you know, and somebody. But here's the thing: you're getting the submission win over your tag team champions. So even if it's a good match, you're diminishing the tag titles by having Kairi Sane lose here clean to Becky Lynch. You're having your champions lose, even if it
Again,
is champion versus champion. There was no build-up for this. There was no big ongoing story or feud. So to have your women's champions, whom you have plans for, you have plans with them in NXT.
Right.
You have, we're hearing that they're going to be involved possibly in the female War Games part of things, as well as they're defending the tag titles in NXT coming up soon. Like
Having both your champions of things face each other
and lose.
someone's going to lose. So it's
but for champion versus champion, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
so
but
what?
But they have plans for them as well. So what was the mindset behind this? If anything, they could have had them face when they had the women's tag later on in the night and win if that was they wanted to, because they threw Charlotte and Natalya together for no reason, no justification at all. They were feuding. Then Natalya was a heel. Then she was a face. Then she was a heel again. So she's back and forth. Same like Charlotte. So you don't know who's the face and who's the heel team here. And when they go up against the Iconics, this is the first time we've seen them on TV since they lost the tag titles, I believe.
It's been for a while.
It's been a long time. Like, I don't mean to ramble on here, but it's like, what are you doing? How are you so jumbled? I'm glad they're back on TV, but you're having them face a thrown together tag team who were just booked as heels, who are now faces, who are portraying themselves still slightly as heels, against a team that is getting cheered by the fans, were cheered by the fans for the most part when they were the tag team champions, but yet they were viewed, at least in WWE's storyline wise, as heels. So you don't know, the crowd just doesn't know who to cheer for, who to boo, so they're quiet. Everybody's confused.
Nobody knows what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. You have the tag champions still doing squash matches, which is, this is a time for them to really they should be dominant, yes, but they could have had a great match against insert tag team here. Have it be not a total scrap, dog out fight, but at least some form of having to have some offense and defense in there, not just a total squash match.
Here's why I don't mind it a little bit, is because of what we just talked about. At least they didn't put them in there with like somebody else, like, and make somebody look bad. You know what I mean? Like, or against champions too, or like against a team that you're trying to build up or make whatever. Like save them for the pay-per-view type of thing. But yeah, what are they doing with them? Are they just floating in like? I didn't mind that. I knew it was going to be talked about. I was like, oh my God, the champions are facing jobbers. Like, so you're telling me that here are your champions in the WWE. They're your tag team champions. And there's a tag team division, apparently. Why are we watching the champions defend their belts against a couple of bumbaclots from fucking Chicago or whatever, who nobody's heard of?
Dressed and named after Chicago Cubs players. And
aren't the other tag teams in the back a little pissed off that some
that's what I'm saying.
Bingo hall bastards
they get in, jobbers who are named after Rizzo and Bryant. Come on, they got both Cubs players there. They're wearing baseball gear. It just feels overly foolish and overtly stupid. And I mean, the Cardinals aren't in the World Series. The Cubs didn't even make it to the playoffs. So again, the crowd didn't give two shits. The only way Seth Rollins gets himself cheered at all is when he pulls the right here in St. Louis. He has to say that to get a little bit of a reaction. I just
actually
don't know.
JD had a great tweet. Somebody actually, I don't know why people still people obsess over him. They send me his shit all the time. I don't give a fuck. But I did. But someone did send me. He said something like, I think we all know why Seth. You know what I mean? It's okay, Seth. Even we know the truth that you have to say the city name everywhere you go in order to get a fucking reaction.
Yeah, cheap pops.
It's just a cheap bullshit. Yeah, it's just I don't know. Yeah. Someone said that to me. I thought that was funny. I was like, I don't know why people send me his stuff, but whatever.
I get it all too. But yeah, I mean, it's the truth though. I mean,
yeah,
you need those cheap. Just like they have the cheap thing with the heels. Like Elias does it every now and again, but at least he goes in depth with more of his insults and attacks people on a deeper level. Like he might say that to start the booing, but that's all Seth had to get any cheers.
Yeah, that's different. It's made, that type of thing is made for the mid card guy to be like, hey, yeah, St. Louis, you suck, or like I love St. Louis. Like that's a very cheap, like you said, mid card thing to do. It's not something that like I mean, everybody does it, I guess. Like, I mean, Stone Cold could do it, but they don't need to do that. That's the thing.
Exactly. Oh, Rusev blew it just like the Cardinals did. And then the crowd goes nuts. And
that's their quota.
That's a thing for Bobby Lashley to say. That's not Seth Rollins, not your champion. You have him dressed up, like I said before, in a dildo-hatted swimsuit, marching around like an idiot. Just to go ahead and what? Make a joke saying that he's over? No, it's just not interesting. And the problem is Eric Rowan, they both had a decent match tonight for the most part, but that again gets ruined by the stupid forklift ending for me.
Yeah, well, it's just they've done it
and
so
why
many
they're
times.
Fighting, no one knows.
Yeah, they're just fighting to fight.
They brought over one of the biggest heels essentially, recently anyways,
right,
from SmackDown. Without any reintroduction or build up, they have him face and lose. How about
champion already? How about this? How about Seth Rollins is coming in the arena at the beginning of the show, and they're like, it's Seth Rollins, and then he gets attacked by Rowan, or they bump into each other by accident, something happens out there, and Rowan beats the shit out of Seth and smashes his face like into the car window and breaks it, and he's on the ground and they're attending to him, and blah blah, and somebody goes, Seth Rollins demands, like, I want Rowan tonight, right now, and I want a street fight, falls count anywhere, whatever. And then it's like you start the show that way, chaotic, and then you cut back to the ring with whatever they planned on doing, and then you set the tone like, all right, that's happening now. But instead, it was only like, dude, the divorce thing. And listen, the ending segment did get heat in a way. It did kind of get you angry. Like, it was stupid. Like, I thought it was dumb, but we've already kind of done this a couple times. They're really trying to get people mad and build this up, which I think they're kind of getting away with doing it for some reason, as dumb as it is. But that's your ending segment to the show. It should have been Rollins and Rowan in a street fight, in a hardcore match or a street fight match, all because of something that happened at the beginning of the show that wasn't expected. And, Rowan saying something like, he's going to find out now I'm on Raw. And he's like, and if I take out the champion, if I injure Seth Rollins tonight and he's no longer able to compete, I should be the Universal Champion. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break Seth's arm tonight. and then I'm going to get the Universal Championship. It's going to be real easy for me to do that. Like, and that type of thing, you're like, oh, shit, what's going on tonight? And then they do some better stuff in the back than what we saw. And then interest is, oh, my God, I don't want to miss this main event. And then the divorce thing should have been in the middle of the show.
That should not have closed the show at all. And for them to go ahead and try and feign interest with Humberto there, the crowd doesn't care about him. They're not behind him. He lost to Seth last week. He didn't look like a loser, but he still lost to Seth. And it wasn't as good of a match that they had, like they had this week with AJ, unfortunately. Yeah. And obviously it's going to lead to a 6-man tag. We know that. He'll be teaming with the Street Profits next week, more than likely, to take on the OC.
I don't think WWE understands the audience right now. I don't. No, I mean, I know they don't, but I don't think anybody understands right now. The fans do not want. I'm going to say this into the camera. If anybody from WWE is watching my stream right now, which you should be because it's one of the most watched live streams of wrestling reviews anywhere. But looking right into the camera right now, the fans do not want these goody two-shoes baby faces. They do not want it. It's boring. It's lame. They don't like it. They cheered Becky Lynch because she was bleeding, and she was like, come and get some motherfucker. Like that type of deal.
And they were trying to make us boo her.
Yeah, and then they were trying to make us boo her at the time. They're backwards. They don't like it. They don't want it. When Seth goes, well, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do the best I can, blah, 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 because I'm going to burn it down. Lame. They don't like it. If there was a fucking psycho Sid in the WWE, just like around WrestleMania 13 time, the fans would start chanting for Sid. They wouldn't cheer for Diesel, just like they didn't want to cheer for Diesel then, because they thought Diesel was lame at that point. Oh, like, no. People started cheering for goddamn Psycho Sid, a guy who was a bad guy, and he was considered boring at a time, but the WWF was so bad in 1996 that people started cheering for Sid. Thank God Stone Cold came along and cut that fucking King of the Ring promo and became Stone Cold, or, you might have had Sid as your Stone Cold. And let me play a donation real quick because we are really behind on these. Let's see if I can trigger the sounds for Jake. And I know you guys are donating. I'm going to play those. And thank you so much for the donations, by the way. We can't do these shows without your donations. So thank you. I can't do my show. I can't do these shows. And I also want to stress, if you haven't checked out my Patreon, there's 30 hours of content a month for you on Patreon, including a podcast with my wife. The Corrupted podcast every week. It's a lot of comedy, a lot of funny stuff, a lot of shit for you guys to listen to. Plus my my morning show that's becoming something else, but my personal podcast that I'm putting up there, and then other ones that we're doing about all kinds of other shit. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. And thank you to the new patrons. I'm going to shout everybody out in a few minutes here. But let's play some of these.
Roman Reigns.
Roman.
You're my man. See you naked. Give me that Superman punch in my rectum. Give me that Superman punch in my rectum. I don't care if your fist goes up my asshole. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns.
Yeah!
What the fuck did I just see? They ended the show with that. Rusev became the biggest babyface to me because all he wanted was to fuck Lana in the gaping hole. But seriously, that was so bad that it was great. I'd queer or how they go from here. Hashtag Lana's cunt.
Oh my. Oh, that was fun. I did not see that coming. Hashtag Lana's cunt. Harry Steve, thank you for that donation, man. Harry Steve. Lily Pad Cronin before that, whatever that means. Harry Steve, that's gonna put you take that digital championship home, maybe. Harry Steve, I think I said Harry Steve, like he's Harry or something. You're probably not Harry Steve. I'm sorry, dude. But yes, he is. Could take home that digital JCS championship as the top donator so far. Thank you. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I thought the segment was actually kind of good in a way. Like, I saw when they were doing the segment, I went, oh, God, this is going to be the end of Raw. This is the end of Raw. Well, I'll just turn it off now. I bet you a lot of people turned it off. Bet you they didn't even see it. It was so weird and chaotic. It was all right, man. Like I gotta tell you, man, it's stupid as hell. But I'm just, I don't know. It was pretty dumb but good, like in a way. It's just, I gotta say it, man. It was kind of funny. It was kind of interesting. And then I was really annoyed because I was just hoping they would drop this whole thing so I didn't have to see Rusev like watch his wife kiss this guy anymore. How weird that is. And so there's like a lot of people who actually feel that way, who actually feel annoyed that Rusev's wife is hooking up with this guy, and it's weird, and people feel like Vince is making them do it. And so like there's this they're getting. Do you remember we've talked about this for years, that because the wrestling universe is so smart now to the product, that you have to do like a trifecta or something. You have to hit all corners to get something over the right way. You have to get people who are marks to actually believe it's real. You have to get other people who just are so jaded to maybe buy in. And then you have to get the third part, which is you have to get people to not really be mad because it's a storyline, but to be mad about something else that's real. So you got that. You get some of the marks are just like, oh, she's awful, and they're not even thinking about. They just believe it. They're just, yeah, I believe it. I'm buying into it. I just believe it. Cool. Like you got those people, and then you got to get the people that are like, oh man, what the fuck? And like Vince is so sick and weird. Like this guy has to kiss this guy's wife, and like they're actually like getting mad for the real decisions of the product, like the fourth wall stuff. Like it's just that is how you have to do it nowadays. If you can get all of those people like to all be mad, but for all these different reasons, fuck it. You got everybody on the same page. And this is one of those things I think that's working like that. So that's why it's working a little bit. And the crowd liked it. I will say that. So, I mean, the crowd liked it. Again, like I wouldn't have gone off the air with it. I wish it was more of in the middle of the show. And like I said, the Seth Rollins and Rowan thing could have ended it. And they could have done some cool stuff maybe. But that would be a pretty predictable ending. So, you know, I don't know. Let me play another donation. Let's see here.
Super chat. Super chat.
Lana is ours now. Hash for the culture.
For the culture, baby. For the culture. No blackface here. Thank you very much, J Power. J Power's 55. Thanks, man.
Party.
It's our boy Bry Guy.
Whoever watches this garbage is RAW tarded.
Raw tarded, baby. By the way, I sold another one of those T-shirts the other day. I want to see the pictures of you guys wearing your raw tarded shirts all over the place. Lana wants her name spelled backwards. Oh yeah, it's anal, right? That's hot.
Classic.
Toxic Death's in the chat. A lot of badasses in the chat. What's up? It's Costanza's here. Fucking hilarious on Twitter today. At Corrupted Pod if you want to get at me on Twitter.
This show sucks.
Is that what he wrote?
He just always has me laughing. Yeah, the thing with Jordan Miles is even more people, it seems like, are removing their support for him.
Really?
He seems to, the consensus now from Twitter seems to be, they went from like 110% backing him to he's almost like a member of Black Lives Matters or something, Why society?
A little bit of the bubbly.
It is spot on because he's just so hard to paint.
A little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
It's gone off the rails.
Seth Rollins needs new theme song, and I know the perfect song. Burn is Down by Linkin Park. Also Tommy MTV made episode greater than Raw.
Michael Ramos, thank you, man. Hey, Jake, you hear these now? What?
Not yet.
Oh, God damn it. All right, I'm going to hang up on you and recall you. Michael Ramos, man, thank you, dude. Yeah, Tommy's MTV made is gold, man. I've seen it like 7 times in the last 5 years or 4 years, and every time I see something different every time.
Super Chat Party.
Why can't I put my video
Show
on?
my Joker Mira post. You will thank me after WATCHINGSHOW Joker Mira now quick do.
Oh,
Cronin
Botch
Universe.
Club. What's up, Botch Club? Let me go check out that shit. Instagram.com/Botch Club. Or whatever it is. Let's see if we can find Botch Club. There you are. Joker mirror. I don't see that. I see like a whole bunch of other shit. Boom. Oh, the Vince McMahon one. I remember this. Let me call Jake again. Doop 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 doop. Hey Jakey, there you go. I got you back. All right, now you can.
Ringy.
I was like, at least if he can see the goddamn donations,
Yeah,
that would
there we
help.
I can't hear it, but I can see it now.
Here's Vince going in. This is always a classic. Is that the one you're talking about, Botch Club? Oh no, maybe this is what you're talking about. Oh God. Oh my God.
Chummy Jimmy Chow, Ching Ching Chow, Long the Jim Ball, Ding Ding Ball, Ding Ding Ball. Burn it down! Burn it down!
Sorry, that was fucked up. I'm sorry. Apologize for that. Apologize to all my Japanese friends. Domo arigato. Ahau gozaimasu. Domo. I'm just sorry, man. I'm really sorry. I am sorry to everybody. That was fucked up. And I shouldn't have done that. But you know what? Suck my dick. Oh shit, here it comes. Sexy Transylvania.
From sexual Transylvania. I'm making sexy transvestite from sexual Transylvania. Sexy transvestite from sexual Transylvania.
Finally got my power back on in California.
Yes.
Was off for nearly 40 hours. Feeling good. Guess I didn't miss much tonight.
No, you did not, Scavenger. There's a couple little things tonight, Scavenger. I mean, let's be honest. There were a couple little things, but you really didn't miss much, man. I mean, you would have missed the show if you watched. You would have fallen asleep, Scavenger. Scavenger, thank you so much.
Shut up and bend over.
Oh no.
Finish it.
Oh my God, don't finish it. Please don't finish it.
Jessica.
I'm gonna finish
Maldonado. Oh God.
Finish in it.
Happy to see Jake back.
Yes.
By the way, Hogan still looking good. No homo.
You know what, New York Giants, Frank? I got to tell you something. When first of all, I thought the Drew McIntyre and Ricochet had a good little match. I liked that interaction. Pretty much, it was okay. But one thing that I'm going to be dead serious about this, and I am dead serious about this. The disappointing thing from that match was I came out of that match like when Drew McIntyre went out to the ring and like mocked Hogan and was like, "Take your glasses off" or whatever, and he started yelling at him, and he got back in the ring. I had flashbacks, and I know that a lot of the people out there are younger, so they maybe not for them. Like maybe when they think of Hogan, they think of like maybe some of those NWO clips and maybe The Rock and Hogan or something. But it's like I think of that old Hogan, like WrestleMania 5 and 4 and 7 and 8 and whatever. And I really badly, and I was a big Hulk Hogan's I was glued to wrestling because of Hulk Hogan as a kid until I liked Shawn Michaels when I was like 8 or 7. But I really had a flashback that I wanted to see Hulk Hogan take on Drew. Like I all of a sudden had that urge. I don't want to see this Hogan take him on. You know what I mean? I was just that I was wishing, I was like, oh man, if only like we could get Hulk Hogan from 1990 or 19.
He looks so similar. You know, he still has the same kind of not the physique, but it's the same all in all look that he had back in the early 90s. So it's easy to get swallowed up in the nostalgia of it.
I wanted to see it, dude, so bad. I wanted to see Hogan beat him up.
Like you said, I don't want to see him now in his current state.
Right.
But if there was, that's why the games, that fantasy aspect sells so well, because you can create whatever match you want, and that's the highlight of it. There's a lot of build-ups and matches I'd kill to see as well. And as far as tonight too, you knew that.
But what I mean by that, Jake, what I'm trying to say though, is that they got me. Like they got me with seriously, Hogan and Drew's interactions.
Yeah,
got me. I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm
snatched you up.
I wanted him to be able to fight him. It was so weird. Like, I don't know, it was weird. And
especially the way McIntyre was interacting with Hogan too.
Yeah, and
it made it really like true good guy versus bad guy. You got that just feel to it. Yeah.
Nobody else may have thought that and maybe people our age, maybe anybody like, over 28.
I had that kind of inkling.
Like, wow.
Less about like, seeing them fight, but like, this is cool. Just by the way it was handled.
Yeah, man. Like I remember, God, I wish I could play it, but I don't think I could. I'd probably get away with copyright. But like I had that feeling at WrestleMania 8 with Hogan and Sid. I know the match was kind of crap and it was whatever. And the whole thing was crap because Hogan should have fought Flair anyway. But that, like, I'm telling you, man, if you want to see an entrance by Hulk Hogan, like Sid Justice was like, I'm going to end Hulk Hogan's career, end his life, like all these things. And you go back to WrestleMania 8, the entrance of Hulk Hogan and like coming down there and then like beating up Sid at the beginning of the match before it started. And the crowd just blowing up for it. Like, it's crazy. And it, like, I had that kind of vibe. And anyway, people probably, I'm an idiot, but it's just like, I really felt shit, man. They had it. They had me for some reason. I wish that
they do. It's easy to get, nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and it's easy to get, sucked up into it.
Watch WrestleMania 8 Hogan versus Sid, but just watch the entrance. It's so fiery, dude. That's what I pictured like happening with like Drew McIntyre and Hogan if they could have had a match, which they clearly can't right now, but kind of ridiculous. Sid was crap. Yeah, he really was crap, pretty much, but I have half the brains that you do. What the fuck is wrong with Sid, man? I have half the brains that you do. You know something, Hulk Hogan? Screw me. Like, it's like you just fucking always.
I want you to pin me and count to 3. Just dumbass kind of stuff that you expect him to say.
Oh man, like that guy was fucking hilarious. Let's see another donation here.
Super chat
from Spaz Phoenix up in Canada. What's up?
Lana's computer-generated adult film dialogue. Ooh baby, you baby, one more time. That's the spot. Make my cunt sing a solo.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be jacking it to Lana, I believe, tonight. Spaz Phoenix, thanks for the $5, man.
You have a sex obsession.
That was weird. I was like, this is me. He's talking about me. This is Leah's life. Maybe Leah's going to cheat on me because I'm just running around smelling her all day. Like, I totally can relate to this. This is bizarre.
All it takes is one BBC to walk up and tell her that, hey, Joe cheated, but I'm here for you.
Yeah,
that's
right.
all it took for Lana.
That's all. Like, what was that? Like, I mean, if that's the real reason, then this is retarded.
That's what they're going with.
But like, I feel like there's people out there, myself included, that think it's still something else, and we don't know the truth yet. Like, there's still something else.
I had thought so myself until he said, that's shit, and he went on and on until he, obviously denied the accusation up and down. He's like, oh, that's shit that he's spewing, and they dumped that quick.
Yeah, you think that?
I think that's the reason they're going with.
I'm just gonna go up to hot women and I'm gonna be like, you know what? Your boyfriend's cheating on you.
Yeah, that's what they're going with.
And can I put my dick in you now?
He got in her head and he said, oh, I hate to tell you this, but Rusev's cheating, and I'm here for you. I can fix this. You'll be okay. I'm not like those type of guys. And
she's also playing it like a bitch too. She's not playing this like Like if they were ever going to
This
have
victim role.
Right. If you were going to have Rusev and her get back together again, she would be like, I know. Like, I know what you did. Like, don't you try to be the innocent person because you're the one that cheated on me. And then it's like she's crying because she doesn't want it to be true, but it is, and that's why this whole thing happened. And she believed him. And then he's like, well, told you I cheated on you. And she's like, Rusev did. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, and then it's like, but then she's still like happy to see him beat up and stuff like that. But then you could have saved it with like, oh, look, she was manipulated by him. But they're not doing
they don't
that.
want that at all. They want her to get booed. They want him.
Yeah,
to
they're
get
going
cheated.
straight with she's a bitch. Like she's a fucking idiot bitch. So she's an idiot.
She betrayed him. She screwed him over, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah, so they can't be getting back together soon. Because
no, I don't. They originally said they had no plans of bringing them back together as a unit. So
yeah, that's weird. That's like torture for that. Like, oh yeah, go on the road with Bobby Lashley with your husband.
And they're making out passionately too in the ring at the end. They were really. The other times they kind of like, the first time they really kind of made out, but it was at an angle. So this time they were, saving and sharing oxygen.
Yeah, they were munching on each other this time.
Yeah, that was a bit extreme.
Yeah.
She really cucked Rusev hard. And it wasn't a horrible angle, him throwing the ring and her trying to hurt him with the kendo stick. And it's just like, that's your main event. That's what you're selling the Crown Jewel show with, because they're on opposite teams, and this is how you're really breaking everything down.
She should have caned him.
Same thing with the Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, at the side of the ring. We knew it was going to be a no contest. There'd be some form of disqualification, or, there has to be somebody that jumps in. I would love to see, selfishly, somehow if they could set it up right, where Ricochet goes for the 450 and that turns into the RKO, similar to what we had with like Evan Bourne. We did the shooting star press into the RKO. I don't know if they could time that right, but because, Ricochet he goes up for the 450, and then McIntyre rolls out of the way. Ricochet rolls back to his feet and then gets RKO'd out of nowhere. So, and the crowd was cheering, ceremoniously for that to happen.
One of the most awkwardest RKOs ever is Ricochet's forehead did a handstand. That was weird. That was crazy. Yeah. I mean, he's lucky, at least he didn't get hurt. I mean, he's just so good at...
Thankfully, but...
Yeah, he elevated so much. He was vertical. He could have given him a little stinger there, but he just...
Exactly.
The guy's rubber, man. He just can't be hurt.
He bounces all over, thankfully. But, here we have Orton being cheered by the entire audience because of the RKO out of nowhere. They even, made sure to show that girl flipping out that Orton was there, which was funny, granted, but...
He's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy. He's the heel. So yet again, they don't know how to capture the moment or expound on things. It's very weird.
And there wasn't a lot of kids in the crowd, really. Like when you look at the crowd, it's still not a lot of kids. But the few kids that were there were like, "Oh, I got to see Randy Orton," and he's like the bad guy. Like nobody knows.
Well, the one girl
they
cut to was losing her mind because Orton was there. So
yeah.
And so much for, I guess, the wild card rule is still into effect till after Crown Jewel. I read earlier today after we were done being live, only because they have to finish up these storylines. But I don't believe that either, because you still have Bray going to be, being on multiple shows. So
right,
I guarantee it's just going to keep happening. Even though they had this huge draft and they told us the wild card rule is done and null and void, I bet you we're going to still see people floating back and forth.
Well, let's take our first call now, too. A lot to get to here. A lot more to get to. Quite a bit. A lot of donations coming in. A lot of calls coming in. 516, hello.
Hello?
Is this Nick?
Yeah.
How the hell do you get through every time first? Like, how does it
call.
happen?
Every time you've got the magic.
Dude, I've been here since 10,000 subs. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you do. I mean, this is
just set right.
Like literally a 702 and a 708 just were there, and I just missed them, and I clicked on you, and there you are. Like, there's no way.
702 and 708 were both Nick as well. He's got 300 phone. He's got a switchboard.
Whichever one you answer. I don't have a lot of money. Why would I waste my money on phones?
To get on this show, man. This is important shit. This is important stuff we do. But yeah, go ahead, Nick. Go ahead, man.
Oh God! You know what this show tells me? The ending with Bobby Lashley. He's definitely the father of Maria Kanellis' baby.
Yeah, he's definitely the father, and he's definitely got herpes.
See, that would be an interesting angle, but they're not having Maria on TV at all.
Yeah,
so
now she's fucked.
You heard originally, oh, it was Ricochet, then oh, it was Rusev, and then she said, oh, it wasn't Rusev. If they went back to it, and that's what Lashley's like, no, he did cheat, and he got Maria pregnant. At least then it kind of harkens back to what it's still stupid, but
yeah.
I don't know if you saw this. I wish I had Twitter. I would have tweeted this out to you, but WWE on Fox deleted this one tweet to a callback because they tweeted at WWE Rollins versus Eric Owens Falls Count Anywhere. This guy responded as an idiot. Oh, where are the people of color? And WWE on Fox actually came back at this guy, and you want to know what they said?
What did they say?
What do you think Kairi Sane is?
That Twitter account.
I wish I could send this thing to you. Like, I have it on my phone, but I can't send it to you because I don't have your stuff, man. And Twitter deleted my freaking thing.
Ask Ken. He'll tell you how to text it to me. I'm just saying, though.
Dude, what is wrong with the Fox fucking WWE Twitter?
They are mad over there. They tell people, stop with the what chants, and then they go into the dirt sheet type stuff, saying like, "Oh, you thought we didn't like the Firefly Funhouse?"
Someone actually tweeted it. Go to @Mr. Klondike Bill, and he actually has the tweet.
I'll look into it.
Oh my god, dude! Like, I've been laughing at them all week, and then I didn't see that though. Oh my god!
So funny, man. What are they doing?
What do you call? What did they? Wait a minute. What did they say again? What do you call this or whatever? We got one of these.
He said, "Where are the people of color?" WWE on Fox actually responded saying, "What do you think Kairi Sane is?"
And then somebody wrote below that yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, no. What the
How
fuck?
do they do this shit?
What is wrong with that fucking Twitter? Dude, I swear to God, it's Road Dogg. I swear to God to you. I swear to you on everything that's fucking Road Dogg. That Road Dogg is running that fucking thing. I have this huge suspicion that mayonnaise motherfucker is running that Twitter account. Oh my god!
Yep, they did the old tweet and delete, bro. Like I think it's on Twitter right now if you want to see. There's this guy named it's called @Klondike Bill, and I don't know. It's Mr. Klondike Bill. And it
Klondike
says,
Bill. I've
tweet
heard.
And delete.
I know who that guy is. Klondike Bill. Like, it looks like Klondike Bar, but it's Bill. Yeah, I know who that is.
He has the tweet if you want to look at it.
Oh my god, man, that's so racist. I mean, it's really not. Actually, what I said was probably worse. But no, it's like fucked up.
Klondike says Rusev likes to fuck me a lot. That's what Lana says. And no shit. How true is that? Look at Lana. Yeah, this.
Yeah, Road Dogg's really my dad. That's why I look like him, Mike.
Makes perfect sense.
We all make good sense. Yeah.
Like I was thinking like at 7 o'clock because I was kind of bored and I was waiting for Dolphins Steelers because I really didn't watch a show at fuck Raw, man. Like I didn't really watch it tonight. But when I saw that tweet, I'm like, oh my god, I gotta call up and tell Joe about this, man.
Somebody get me that tweet
for you.
Oh, you got me?
Tagged Joe in it. Yeah.
Oh my god, is this real?
Yeah. Somebody said, "We're people of color," and they put, "What do you think Kairi Sane is?" It's absolutely real.
Oh my god! This is the greatest thing I've ever seen, man. What the fuck is that?
Thank you for that.
Wait, they deleted this?
Dude, I had to show it to Steve.
Is this real? This can't be real. They couldn't have. Can somebody archive and find out if they really said this though?
Yeah, it was said.
Oh my god!
I guess
I'm gonna fucking lose my mind, dude. Look at this. Where are the people of color?
Seth, Eric Rowan, Ric Flair, and Miss Kairi Sane. And this Adrian guy says, "Where are the people of color?" And they say, "Well, what do you think Kairi is?"
Oh my god! At Harvard School, they don't. At Harvard School,
Whoever
they don't
tweeted
count
that's
Asians.
fired. Whoever tweeted that is fired.
I'm telling you, it's Road Dogg, man. What do you think Kyrie's saying is? Oh my God.
Brandon Hicks sent it to us as well. A bunch of people have it.
Oh my
Screen
God.
grab, so.
It would have been really good if they also said, like, we got a couple of them or something like that. Like, I don't know.
Thank you, Brandon. I just saw it now. That's great.
Holy shit. That's so fucking hilarious.
Yep, I hit the mother load, Joe. I hit the mother load.
Yeah, Nick, that was pretty awesome. Thank you, man. You just made that was the most entertaining thing I've heard all night or seen. Oh my God. I'm like 5, so that's like the funniest shit to me. That is way too good. We have, what do you think Kyrie's saying is?
Speaking of, I actually kind of watched what happened with the Kabuki Warriors, where like Asuka actually spit green stuff at Paige.
Yeah.
You know, like them started finding themselves like heels. No joke, I legitimately thought I was watching the porn leaks.
The what?
I thought I was watching the porn leaks.
Yeah, we're being sprayed. And a few people pointed out before too
Thanks,
how funny
Nick.
it was that.
Love you, Nick. Good call, Nick.
Take care, Nick. That Jerry the King Lawler couldn't even say, Asuka. She just kept calling her the other girl.
Oh, really? On the broadcast?
Yeah, on commentary.
I mean, come on. Really, Jerry doesn't know the names now, like, by everybody? That's fucked up, man. I mean, that's like that. I don't want to go into my whole commentary rage, but it's like, dude, when I'm sitting here and I know who the people are, and they got Jerry Lawler there not knowing anything, and he kept trying to make these like little quips and these things, and like he couldn't really get some of them out the right way. It's like, well, what would you do, Jerry? Or whatever. And he's like, I would have had the flu or something like that, but he couldn't like say it right. It's like he can't even deliver lines. It's like, dude, I would just like, what would you do, Joe, if you were blah blah? And it's like, well, I would have stayed home that day and collected whatever the fuck, or I would have had 7 guys jump him in the parking lot. You know what I mean? What? But Jerry couldn't get anything out the right way. It was just weird. And the more I listen to Dio Madden, the more he sounds like fucking Excalibur. I don't know if you noticed that.
I can see that. And Dio must have said it's 2019. I don't even know how many times. Jeremiah, tweeted us that earlier too. He's like, if I hear him mention that, it's 2019 one more time, I'm gonna flip my lid.
Why was he saying that so much?
Just in reference to everything.
To everything?
That was just like his quip of the night. There was no rhyme or reason to it. It was just how he was presenting things. It was ridiculous.
Oh God, they're so bad. Like Vic Joseph is the worst. Like he is a robot and a half. He really sucks. I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. Like I have no idea. Here's the donation.
You want to see my dick?
Oh my God, there he is.
Now.
There he is.
I'm Sean's View Entertainment, and you want to see my dick?
You want to see it? You want to see it? Swear to God.
Do you want to see my dick? I will show you my penis. I'm Sean's View. Don't screw.
There's been a lot of fagging, a lot of flagging, a lot of fagging.
My pee-pee. Do you want to see my dick? Do you want to see my dick?
Time to hear about some flagging and some fagging.
I want this beef to end. I want this beef to end, Scavenger. There's been a lot of arguments. There's been a lot of flagging. There's been a lot of fagging. He actually fucking said that, dude. Oh, and oh my god. Did you hear his video announcing about me?
No.
Because I told him, I was like, dude, let's do a podcast, man. I'll do a podcast with you. And he's like, yeah, let's do it and everything. And I really will do a podcast with Sean's View. I will do it. We've already done a couple before. We've done 2 before. But so he made a video like just all about like, hey, we're back and we're gonna go and we're gonna whack and win the sack. And dude, some of the stuff that he fucking rhymed about in this video is
he's got
just
a thesaurus next to him.
He says like something about whacking me off, and I'm not kidding. Like in the video, he says something about like, me and Joe, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna whack him off, or like it's something like that. Listen to this, it's crazy.
Can you feel the vibe, the aura, the satisfaction, the gratification? Me and Joe Cronin are back together once again, and that spells trouble for each and every subscriber, viewer, hater, naysayer. Well, not so much the subscribers, because they wanted to see me and Joe Cronin back together. They wanted to see me do a show with him. They wanted to see him do a show with me. And quite frankly, I'll admit it, his channel's blown up. His channel's got bigger and better and more views and more money and more monetary green, more cash. But when you're the brash and the brazen, you can work with the best. And when you're the brash and the brazen and you're prolific, consistent, and dedicated, you can seek out the very best. And I know the best when I see him. And I know Joe Cronin is one of the greatest of all time. Yeah, we've had our little discrepancies. We've had a little disparages. We've had a little, disrespect. We've had our backlash. We've had our outlandish comments. And we've had our messages. And we've had our call into his show because 2014 tag team.
I'm looking for the part where he says masturbation because it's just too funny.
The subscribers teaming up once again to take over the YouTube podcasting once again. Because when Sean's You Entertainment and Joe Cronin get in a chat room or a YouTube stream or we do a video together, you will all scream. You will all deliver. You will all quiver. You will all comment. You will all message. You will massage. You will take it in stride and know that Sean's You Entertainment, Joe Cronin, will be the flow of the show. We will be the show. We will be the matchmakers. We will be taking it all over. We will be making, masturbating. We'll be trepiding. We will be scared. We will back down. We won't back.
Oh my God, dude! Someone in the comments writes masturbating. Like what? What the fuck is he talking about? Oh my God, man!
I had to pull it up in the stream to hear it. He's a nut.
You get 7
the
minutes.
flow of the show.
Oh my God, 7 minutes of that. And by the way, Sean, I fucking already lost his number.
Masturbate.
I didn't mean to. We're gonna be jacking off. We're gonna be getting off. We're gonna be getting fought and cough and like he's a mess. So you still can't hear anything, right, Jake?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's get that. Let's play a donation. Maybe get it here.
Shit bomb.
Shit bomb.
Watching my Bengals have a winless season is more entertaining than the dumpster fire of a program.
Brian Blackburn, thanks for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. Yeah, because like I don't know. I mean, it's got to be tough to watch your football team go through this, though. I mean, that is tough. But you're right. At least it's not a sleeper. At least you're like angry. I mean, start getting angry after every football game because you can see what's wrong with the team. You know what I mean? It's like it's not that crazy. You can kind of pretty much see what's wrong. So you're like, can you please fix? Like, how do you not fix this? If I was you guys, I get that. The Dolphins are getting a little better now. I mean, they couldn't stay that bad for all the years. For all year, rather. Thank you very much for the donation, though, man. And sorry about your team. Sorry about the Bengals. That sucks. Definitely sucks. That was Brian Blackburn with the $5 in there. Thank you. And Scavenger before that. Has anybody beaten the top donator yet? Harry Steve? Not yet. No, okay, not yet. All right, let me see. I just want to make sure I didn't fuck that up. Oh, here we go. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
After Kairi Sane vs Becky Lynch, this show took a nosedive like Jordan Miles' career. # Tla Hendricks is out of 10.
Rusev Porn Stash, thank you for the $4. Isn't that a good grade then? Taylor Hendricks is really nice to me on Twitter now. She's been pretty cool. I don't know what's up with that, but she's been pretty cool. Why did someone send me? People send me. I can't look at it, man.
Shit bomb.
Whoever sent me this on Twitter.
Hey guys, we'll be in Charleston for Air You Wednesday with a JCS sign. Thanks for all you do.
Whoa. Also,
another shit raw.
CMJ, thank you so much for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. And yeah, man, we've had like 50 signs on WWE TV. Like different people have brought Joe Cronin show signs to WWE, but we've never had a sign appear on AEW yet. I was at AEW in Boston, but we never had a sign. Here's some of the signs that over the years, none bigger than that WrestleMania Joe Cronin show sign. That there were people that found the show because of that sign. Sharuk Rock, thanks very much for subbing to the channel, man. We are having a subscription party, so make sure you hit the red button or the subscription button and the alerts and all that other bullshit, and celebrate the JCS signs. Oh my God! Oh my God! That's gotta be Kane.
Donating.
Movado.
This is why I like Care. You better know dumbass storylines like Lana and Lashley. Who is this story for? Hopefully not us 2040 years guys, and definitely not kids. Give us good wrestling and good feuds, not this Montel Williams trash.
Movado, thank you for the 666. See, and you know, Movado, it's like, I don't even like, I get it. Like, I get what they're doing. It's just like everything else is so bad that this is like, when you don't get anything from everything else, like all the other matches and whatever else, and you feel like you've gotten nothing out of this show, and then that is the way it ends, that's why it's so enraging. If you have a pretty good show, and then this is like just something that happens in the middle of the show, then it's okay. You're kind of like, oh, that's kind of funny.
It's just a blip in the radar.
Yeah, but it's like, and it's like they're treating it as like the main event, and then it's like, well, you guys wanted Rusev in the main events and stuff. I thought everybody loved Rusev. So we build this.
It's not a main event feud. He's not feuding for a title, or it's just him.
But that's what they would say.
Scorn X, you know.
This is a featured storyline, like a very, very featured storyline. You know what I mean? It's like
the audience isn't going bananas for.
Yeah,
sadly,
yeah. No, it's,
and that's the thing. WWE can't call things on the fly or change things or judge. You know.
What else do they have?
They're more over for the Street Profits magically at this point.
And that was bad.
This was not a good promo for them tonight. Oh. I know they got the "We Want the Smoke" chant going, but besides that, they really didn't say much. You know, them marching through the crowd and stuff. They're the ones that really got to stick to their in ring versus on the mic. It seems for right now.
They think it's the other way though. They think they're great on the mic.
I know they do, but they're getting more over with their ring stuff than they are actually on the mic.
The guy,
the crowd went nuts for them when they won last week. I mean, they were hugging babies and, you know, shaking hands and taking selfies in the crowd. They had Baby Hogan out in the crowd, and people were going nuts last week. And now we get, you know, the same catchphrase over and over. And something I want to address too that we didn't talk about before. Sin Cara had his own backup tonight in the form of Catalina. Well, we found out that Catalina is, her name is Catalina Garcia. She's better known by performing under the moniker of Jessie. La Diva del Ring is her name. She's Chilean, and she's competed in several different Chilean promotions. WWE discovered La Diva del Ring during their 3-day tryout in Santiago, and now the Masked Superstar had her official WWE tryout in December 2018, where she was hired to the Performance Center in May of 2019. So, and she's been training since this past August in the Performance Center with 8 other wrestlers and aspiring superstars who would land in NXT. So apparently they're going to have her be his, you know, valet / Zelina Vega at this point in time.
Yeah.
It was just a real, you know, blindside moment that I didn't see coming. And then when Sin Cara speaks, it's so, I don't want to say like off-putting, that sounds tremendously racist, but you don't expect that voice or that tone of voice to come out of a masked luchador. He sounds so Wall Street businessman-like.
Well, because it's goddamn Hunico. It ain't fucking Sin Cara.
That's the thing, so.
Sin Cara is like somewhere in like Guadalajara right now.
Exactly. But still, you don't expect, you know, him to sound this, you know.
I think
Hunico, preconceived notions.
I think he is from New York. I think Hunico is from New York. I'm not sure.
I thought so, yeah.
Or maybe California somewhere. But I mean, either way, it's just, yeah.
I thought it was New York. That was the the Wall Street reference. But
yeah, it makes sense with its accent.
And you know, and I feel bad for the wrestlers too, because I mean they've got this. Even Corey Graves said to Sports Illustrated earlier, it's a long, grueling trip that they have to take immediately now over to Saudi, go over there, do all the press tomorrow, and then midday is Crown Jewel. They have to be part of the. I always want to make sure. Is it Ridya, the festival? The big doing that's going on over there spiritually and for their religion.
Oh, I don't remember.
I think that's how you pronounce it. But so they have stuff going on with that. And then Corey Graves said, it's super exciting to have these totally unusual attractions. Cain Velasquez against Brock and Strowman and Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman. You have all that going on. So he said, if you take any sort of political feeling out of the equation as a WWE fan, aren't you curious and excited? He said, although it's a long, grueling trip, most of the talent like it because it's a really good payday.
Right.
And I get that, but it's so difficult to take politics out of it when you know what the country is doing, not even behind closed doors. So, I mean, that's... And he said, so, the things they don't love is that they have to fly back to SmackDown in Buffalo the very next day. I mean, that's a really rough trip. So you go there, you wrestle. Some people are working, different matches beforehand for dark stuff as well. They have the 20-man number one contender battle royal to see who gets a shot at AJ Styles' U.S. title on the very same night. They announced all those participants. Not many people stand out as far as like who big winners will be. You have Brian Kendrick, Titus O'Neil, Tony Nese, Akira Tozawa, Shelton Benjamin, Apollo Crews, Buddy Murphy, Andrade, Drake Maverick, Eric Young, Luke Harper, Cedric Alexander, Heath Slater, Humberto's in there, No Way Jose, R-Truth, Eric Rowan, Mojo Rawley, and the WWE 24/7 champion Sunil Singh is in there as well. So,
not a really good night for a lot of people as far as Raw goes. Looks like everywhere I look, about 70 to 80% of you are saying you hated the show tonight. Even Solomonster's poll is at 1,700 with 80% thumbs down.
Fox is upset as well. I mean, they thought that they would get the same numbers on Fox Sports 1, apparently. Or at least close to it.
Wait, say it again?
Fox isn't happy. I guess internally, according to what I'm reading here on Ringside News, it says that internally WWE expected this past Friday's SmackDown to do very similar numbers to what it was doing on USA prior to the move. Didn't even come close. They only got less than 1 million viewers. They got 888,000. That means that AEW this week beat SmackDown.
Because when, I'm trying to remember what remember the night that AEW was going to have to go over to the other channel? But that didn't happen, right? Instead, they just aired it on both because they didn't need to do it.
Yes.
So I was going to say...
It was True TV or one of those, yeah.
So... And so the thing about that is, like, they had about 300,000 people come over there, right? Or something like that?
I think it was like 140,000.
Oh, God. So it was really bad. So, I mean, like, it was that bad for even AEW. The only difference is, though, AEW is still on the other channel. So, like, I don't know. I mean, you're going to lose a lot of viewers. I mean, we almost all could have predicted that going to FS1 on a night of the World Series, changing the channel like that.
I predicted 1 million, so.
Oh, well, I would have said, like, there'll be 1 million less people watching. Like, so.
Yeah.
With 2.4 million the week before, right? You would think
there'd be 1.4.
1.4 is what a lot of people would think. But yeah, I was shocked that it was below 1 million. Like below 1 million. 888,000 is all the people that watched SmackDown. That's fucking crazy. And now it'll be back up next week. So those people like, oh yeah, we'll wait till next week when it's back up to the you idiot. It's like, okay, well no, I know that. It's true. Probably this week's SmackDown, I mean, it is going to go way back up, but it's probably going to go up to, it's going to be below where it was the week before last week. Like, throw this week out. This was an anomaly. Throw it out. They were at 2.4. So this week probably will be a 2.2.
I think the only way that they have a chance of gaining viewers is if something huge happens at Crown Jewel, like Bray wins the Universal title, because Bray's opening SmackDown with the Miz TV segment.
Oh,
So if he's the Universal Champion going into the show, I think they'll have an increased viewership. Besides that, that's the only Hail Mary approach to them garnering, a gain successfully.
And once again, too, this guy shouldn't even be like Bray Wyatt should just be killing it, like with crazy stories and stuff. He shouldn't even be near the title yet.
No.
But here they are with this, now if they do something, if all this has some kind of payoff character-wise for Seth and for Bray, then I'll eat my own ass. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be like, all right, like they planned this the whole time, potentially. Because they've done this with several other things where, like, you're mad for, like, 3 or 4 months, but then something happens that's awesome, and then you're like, did they set this all up from the beginning this way? Or did they knee-jerk react to the crowd and finally give us what we wanted? And it's really hard to figure out which one of those things it is. Same thing with, like, Daniel Bryan. Like, they knew the crowd was getting behind Daniel Bryan. They took the belt away from him right away that night at SummerSlam with the cash in by Randy. And then they, like, acted like he's not going to be in the main event at WrestleMania. And then he was, but it was like at the very last second that they figured that in there. And then he didn't even show up at the Rumble. And at the time, we were like, WWE must be crazy because that the crowd is crazy hyped for Daniel Bryan, and this fucking guy isn't in the Royal Rumble. The goddamn crowd booed Rey Mysterio, and Daniel Bryan had the first match of the night, so that told you even more. You were like, oh shit, Daniel Bryan's going to be in the Rumble tonight, and he's going to win the Rumble. He's going to win the Rumble because he's in the first match of the night with Bray Wyatt.
And it gave him so much time.
Yeah, and you were like, oh my God, he's going to win the Rumble. And then he doesn't win the Rumble. And it was like all these things. It was like the WWE was purposely not giving you Daniel Bryan because they knew you wanted it. But the storyline for a lot of us was they're holding him back and they don't want to give him to us. And this isn't the guy they see and all these other things and blah, blah. But when you look at it, it almost feels like they knew exactly what they were doing. But then guys like CM Punk said they didn't. So maybe they didn't. So it's really hard to say. Are they morons, but they were forced to have to give us what we wanted? Or are they fucking genius about how they're fucking stringing us along with shit? So I don't know which one of those it is. Sometimes it could be one or the other. Maybe they got a formula. But right now, Seth and Bray, these bookings decisions made no sense. And all I can say is what I've seen, which is I've seen a red cage with a red light in a stupid situation that just pissed off everybody, that made Seth Rollins less liked, that made The Fiend less crazed about, and in a match that shouldn't have even happened, in my opinion, unless there's some kind of bigger goal here. So if we come out of these things, this rivalry in the next month or two, with nothing really coming from this, like Seth is still the champion, and he's still like, I'm going to burn it down, and Bray Wyatt, or even if Bray Wyatt did win the title, and Seth is still like, burn it down, like, and nothing comes of it, like, what was the point in any of this then? Like, because you just ruined Seth's character. Whatever he is, he doesn't have a character. He's just a weird guy from Iowa who says burn it down, whose real name is Kobe Lopez, and he calls himself Seth Rollins.
Any momentum or
I don't know.
Any interest? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't understand what their mindset is. They really just feels like you said, just ass backwards in every possible way. They go ahead and consistently, I feel like, undermine or ignore the fan input as just blatantly as possible. If you're cheering for someone that they're, not flipped, or if you're, not into something, they keep it going. They repeat a lot of things and feuds and matches endlessly. It's just a lot of it is baffling. And when they run out of ideas of who can be where and what, you just get those tired worn out tropes, and instead of building up new talent and new stars, they continually, go to the well of bringing in talent elsewhere to try and generate some interest and buzz. And that might help in the short term, but then people don't continue to watch because those people leave, and those people also stepped on a quarter of the locker room to get that victory, moment, win, whatever it may be. So now there's no interest in continuing watching once those people are no longer there. There's no captivating star or feud to keep them tuning in. Their perfect example is Braun Strowman. Right now, everything with Fury, him and Tyson Fury have this big match coming up in 2 days' time. Well, what happens after Strowman loses? He's obviously going to lose at Crown Jewel. He can't win. Tyson Fury has an undefeated record, and I guarantee he's not agreeing to lose then. We said this earlier. So now Braun loses again. Who's going to want to, who barely has interest in Braun now as is? Because, he'll destroy a set. He'll throw people through things. He'll say people are going to get these hands, and then he loses every single time, every match, every big moment that he should be capitalizing on. He looks like an imbecile because he gets beat. He gets destroyed. So why would you have any interest or faith or stock in him whatsoever when you know that when it's time to put up or shut up, he loses? He can't get the job done. They've done this with Samoa Joe. They've done this with, so they bring in people from the outside to try and, garner attention. Oh, Tyson Fury is huge. He's an undefeated boxer. All right, so you're getting people to tune in to see him, but they're not going to stay because you didn't give him a reason to once he's gone. He already said in the interviews, he had nothing to do for October, November, and that he has no plans of doing anything further with WWE. Never say never, but he has nothing planned right now. So,
dude, you remember it's like Samoa Joe did get over a little bit good, did get it going a little bit when he was like the Wendy, in the AJ Styles shit.
He started to.
It's like every time it's like, okay, he notched up a little bit. All right, here we go. And then
we get a DQ finish or a false finish or a count out or multiple times. And then he got beat clean finally after multiple attempts. So he lost, and then officially lost and then tapped out. And then you got nothing. Why would you want to see... Oh, he cuts this great promo, but what good is it?
Yeah, but it's everybody is like this. You can literally point to everybody, like Braun Strowman. They made him look like a big fucking retard, and then after he already looked like a retard, he wins the Money in the Bank, and you think to yourself, oh my God, they're gonna give him a push now.
Finally doing it.
They're gonna fix him. Oh no, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell everyone that I'm cashing in now, or whatever the hell he did that was retarded as hell.
Cashed in for Hell in a Cell, and Brock Lesnar interfered in the match. That was how he lost his cash-in attempt. I'm pretty sure that was the match. Yeah. And that's the thing. They ruined the Hell in a Cell last year. It's supposed to be the Hell in a Cell is what's used to end feuds. That is the blow-off match. That's the culmination of everything. You finally have had enough of this person that you're bringing them to a torture chamber, as it's described, to go ahead and finish them off. You don't, and no one can get in, no one can get out. That's the glorious part of the cell. It's not like a cage match where there's a door and the top's open. It's supposed to keep people from getting in, and it's supposed to, stop anyone from getting out. So you and your opponent are in there till the job is done. Oh, but last year, Lesnar breaks his way in and basically calls off the match between Braun and Roman. Now this year, the referee calls off a match with Seth Rollins and The Fiend. So the Hell in a Cell is ruined entirely, the concept of it.
Yeah, it's so
that's
dumb.
Meaningless.
So it's not enough that they've ruined the wrestlers. Now
they have to ruin the gimmicks.
Now they've ruined the cage. The cage out of nowhere. We need to settle a feud. Oh my God, the Hell in a Cell. Well, okay, let's ruin that because now we're just going to plan the Hell in a Cell every year at a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Okay, that's number 2. And now, like you just said, all those ways that the matches were stopped and bastardized. So that's number 3. Yes. That's number 3 now. You've ruined Hell in a Cell, just like you ruined
you have the Fiend.
wrestlers.
He's the biggest get that you've had in years. Merchandise is selling off the shelves and uncontrollable rates. They can't keep up with demand to the point that it's on back order, not once, not twice, but 3 times for high-priced merchandise. You know, it's not a $20 shirt. It's a $50 mask. It's $40 puppets in collector sets for $200 a pop. People are dishing out cold hard cash for anything related to Bray Wyatt. You had somebody that was ruined that they reinvented by listening to his ideas finally. And there is just such interest that people that don't even watch wrestling are tuning in to see what's going on just for the Firefly Funhouse. They go to YouTube. You're getting millions of views as where everything else is getting thousands. I mean, it is unparalleled and unprecedented for 2019 for any wrestling company to be getting these types of views off of something so unorthodox. But it worked. It struck a chord. Fans loved it. And you get this really interesting character. We have a character finally that has a backstory somewhat that's getting explained, that has, you know, counterparts to it, that it's just a whole new, you know, interesting angle, and they kill it. They kill it in less than 2 months' time. You get one match with Finn Balor. People lose their minds with the, you know, oh, the lantern's going to be too severe, and you know, you get all this buzz and press and publicity, and then you put him in the match. Oh, he kicks out at 1. Well, who gives a shit? Because he laid there for 10 minutes. Every time he kicked out at 1, he didn't get up to do anything. He just laid there and took shot after shot after shot, after curb stomp, after hit with a weapon, chair, ladder, you name it. He got beaten and bludgeoned and looked like a moron. His house gets burned down, and you go back 2 days later, and it's back again, inexplicably, you know, without explanation. You know, everything's okay. It's not. You know, there's no consistency. It doesn't work. You build him up to be a monster, and then you had the monster get beat. It just doesn't work. Yeah, people want a reason to care. Just a little reason to care goes a long way. And every time anyone gets interested in this company lately, it feels like they pull the rug out from under you and then fuck you with it.
You know what would have been more... You know what would have been more interesting about Bray is, like, don't have this whole thing where he kicks out at 1, like, and yeah, maybe he can kick out at 1, you know, a little bit, but don't have this whole thing where he's just completely a zombie. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that too far to the extreme. Like, more than even the Undertaker ever did it. You know, and you can do that if he's facing a jobber. But what you shouldn't have done is with facing the champion. And what you could have done,
match.
Right. And what you could have done for effect, whenever Bray Wyatt is covered early on in a match, when he's not damaged, would be interesting is if when he's laying flat on the floor, is if he started shaking all over the place like this and doing this, like on the mat, like, oh, so much so that, like, fucking Rollins is like, what the fuck? And he, like, gets off him. Like, he doesn't want to pin him. And Bray's doing something where he's like, oh, and he's like, and like, that's just something he does. Like, early on when he's not damaged a lot. Like, that's like weird shit like that. No one's ever done that. The Undertaker has the sit-up thing. People have all these different things. Like,
where he used to do the crab walk
that he does.
And, you know,
this would be a new thing that he sort of does, and it would scare people. Like, when they first go to cover him, like, oh, I just knocked him down, I'm gonna go cover it. And he goes, oh, and you're just like, what the fuck is this? Like, you know what I mean? So you could really get that, like, this guy's different, like, something whacked off about this guy without, you know, oh, my finishing move 5 times, and now I'm surprised, like, whoa, like, something's up with this guy. So now you've wasted finishing moves, wasted all that. Like, so you get kind of the same effect of, like, this is creepy without making the guy seem, like, impossible to beat. I don't know. That's just my dumb opinion on that. But
and the fact that they haven't shown any importance to the championship title either. The Universal title has been nothing but a decoration on Seth at this point. Honestly, I don't think Bray has mentioned him going for or after the title at all. He's talked about, you know, taking out Seth and the Fiend's going to hurt you and he doesn't forgive and all these different things. Then they tried to shoehorn in the worst possible explanation that the Fiend is upset because Seth laughed at him randomly on a you know, another program when Bray was re-debuting. Well, that was never mentioned before the day of Hell in a Cell, so now you're trying just to force some type of explanation in there where it's really not needed. And it's like when we do need a little bit of explanation or something to be filled in, they do nothing. But when it's not justified whatsoever, they'll hit you over the head with it. They don't need to be so blatant and obvious. But had the match not been for the title, I think people, I know I would have been a little bit more optimistic and accepting about this match because, all right, he wants to put Seth through the ringer. He wants to make Seth turn heel. He wants to make Seth, go to his limits. But when you know he's going for the title, you figure he would try at all costs to win the belt. That he would stop at nothing for that title. Since he said he wanted this match.
Right.
He said that basically the Firefly Funhouse said that Bray made Vince so much money that Vince had to give him what he wanted, and this match is what he wanted.
Right.
And when the match was originally scheduled, or at least announced, you didn't even know who Bray would be fighting. We didn't know if it was Braun or Seth because they still had their championship match to happen at Night of Champions. So therefore, that right there states the fact that Bray's character wanted the belt, not Seth, because he didn't know who would be champion at Hell in a Cell.
Right.
Now, we knew Seth was going to retain, but he didn't know that for sure if you're going with kayfabe land here. So why would he ask for the match? Because he wants to be champion. That's
Right.
the only reason. You wouldn't ask for a title match if you want to face Seth. He would say, I want to face Seth at Hell in a Cell. Simple as that.
Yeah,
he didn't say that. He said, I want to have a universal title match at Hell in a Cell. And then
like-
he made no important attempt to claim that title the entire night.
And you could have made it like, oh, the Fiend, like Bray Wyatt's talking in the Funhouse, and he's like, the Fiend really loves gold.
Yeah. Or the Fiend doesn't care, but I do.
Yeah.
I want, and that could be, the Fiend just wants to hurt people. I want the belt. The Fiend doesn't care about being champion. They could.
And if I have to use the Fiend to hurt you type of deal, yeah, he could have been like,
yeah, there's so many
Yeah.
ways, but it's not what we get.
Everybody's just ruined. And then Seth is the biggest one too, where he just keeps, I don't know how somebody at the company isn't like, we need to do something, man. Your image right now, like, he's fucked. He just needs to be heel. It's like, he can't keep doing this. Like, he is so lame at this point. I like, and the real guy, Seth Rollins, I like him, man. He's a good wrestler, and he's pretty good at most other things, but he's just not a top tier. He's not a top guy. He's not a Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart during their time when people thought that was a downtime. He's not a Macho Man. He's not a Hulk Hogan. He's not a Rock. He's not. I'm trying to think of past WWE champions that he's like.
And I know he's like really easy to work with, and it's I don't want to shit on him. It's
not all his fault. It's mostly their fault. It's not his fault.
But there's got to be a better way to have him be represented, or deliver these lines, and they make him talk over and over and over again. He looks like a gigantic wuss bag in some aspects. Other times they're trying to make him this like infallible, ultimate good guy, but then he pulls stuff out of his ass where it's like, oh, and he does these heelish things, and it's very conflicting. And the fact that they hop around all over the place, making it so convoluted, only makes people care about him even less.
Yeah.
He has no morals, no vindications, no rhyme or reason. It's just, oh, I'm going to burn it down. I'm going to do this. Oh, I need to burn down the Firefly Funhouse. Why? Why? What was? Oh, because I can't. Because I have to.
Yeah, it's weird.
But then it's back. So what was the point? That like he wasn't trying to rid himself of the Fiend. He wasn't. And then he says tonight, he goes on and on about how, oh, this is if I have to go to a place, that's dark again, and no one can stop me at this point because the referee can't stop this. And well, the referee shouldn't have been able to stop the last time either. But
yeah, the burning of the Firefly Funhouse should have came like if Bray Wyatt had won the belt from Seth because he did something crazy, then Seth could have been like, oh, this is what you care about? Like, I'm going to burn your fucking Firefly Funhouse. It just, it made no sense.
Yeah, you took what I cared about, which was the belt. Now I'm taking from you. And it is interesting that Bray used the heel glove finally to heal Rampant Rabbit, and then he ended up dying anyways again. But I love that little fucking rabbit. I'm telling you, it's hilarious. There's so much to that, and with Seth, there's nothing.
Yeah, you want to diddle. You want to diddle that puppet.
I definitely want to put it on my dick and let it dance.
276 is on the phone. Hey, what's up?
What's going on, dudes?
What's up,
What's
man?
going on?
Woo.
I'm drunk, by the way, so I apologize in advance if I say like stupid shit.
We have to be to watch this show.
So did WWE, like, have they not telegraphed completely to us that like Seth is going over Bray clean at the fucking Saudi show, man?
Really?
Like, think about it. Like, so Bray, like, all right, so
Seems
Seth's
that way.
on Raw. Bray is, I fucking thought was drafted to SmackDown. And you know that Universal title's not going to SmackDown. And they've been advertising, like, just, like, pumping it in our fucking face about the whole, like, the match can't end for, like, any reason. So, like, that sounds to me like Seth's going over clean, man. And in front of the Saudi crowd, like, where they think Seth's going to get a pop, they're all like, well, we can get away with it here or whatever. Like, does it not kind of seem like that's what's going to happen, bro?
It seems like
wow. If they do that, I mean, I almost think Bray Wyatt would let him pin him, and Seth would be surprised. What are you doing? Like, and he lets him pin him. I swear to God, like, I'm not.
Matt just said, we brought it up earlier. You know, Paige even said that "Burn It Down" is cheesy. She said it's just like Fetch. It's never going to get over. He's got to stop trying.
Wow. What does it mean?
I don't know, man. Like, was Bray, like, not drafted to SmackDown? Like, what was he doing this Raw shit?
He was drafted to SmackDown.
Oh, so he's, like, I guess, like, on Raw and SmackDown, or what?
Pretty much, it looks like it until Crown Jewel. They're retarded.
Oh, dude, I love WWE, man. Like, all that goddamn sense they make, I can't take it, bro. That just makes too much sense. I don't know, man. Well, I guess that's all I got, man. You guys have a good night. Hey,
Yeah.
Jake, I wanna come in your face.
Ooh, running away.
Oh wait,
I got two
God,
sex
yeah,
slaves and a few others in line. So
I'm sorry, man. That's that stupid shit I was talking about, not saying.
Hell yeah, baby. Well, hey,
don't
we're
gotta
all...
be drunk for that. Just bring a few bucks.
Let's have a gangbang.
Oh, dude, I like that. That's nice.
I'll bring the toaster.
Oh, goddamn.
I'm gonna sip from your tip. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get. That was really weird. Let's play a donation now. It's what
He's
the
had too much
fuck?
cran.
Yeah, he had too much cran. Oh my god.
My name is Kane and I'm donating.
Oh my god, it's Kane again. Kane Velasquez.
Tonight the last segment was WWE's official apology to Jordan Miles. Lashley is taking it back for the black. Also as well, Humberto Carrillo did a headstand split-legged moonsault but a no reaction whatsoever.
Yeah.
Very shit crowd tonight, fucking fuckers.
It was a shit crowd, but the move should make them pop. But he's had one match. This is a second match.
And even then we were like, what's he doing here? Malibu Al, thank you, Malibu.
Yeah. So, I mean, they should be reacting to something, that was really badass, but
yeah,
I don't know.
They were weird. They were reacting to the Lana
What
stuff.
the fuck the point is, Vince? What the
She's
fuck
established.
the point is, Vince? What the fuck
And a
the
whore.
point
Yeah.
is, Vince?
Yeah.
Who in the fuck was that masked bitch with Sin Cara? Where did she come from? She was never on NXT? Why should I care about Carmita? Cunt meter? Fuck WWE. I hope Lana gets sick by an AIDS dick. Seth is gonna tell Lana.
My God.
Burn it down gonorrhea style.
Well, Pussy Lips McGee, thank you for the $9.99. I don't think
Doc, it really burns.
I don't think we really need a backstory on somebody's manager that much, so that doesn't really bother me. I don't need to know where she's from, if she went through NXT. But we did talk about it earlier, so hopefully you were listening. Jake knew all about her already. So she's
did the research.
Yeah, no big deal,
And speaking to the donation before, even Titus O'Neil chimed in to Miles. He's like, I agree the shirt is distasteful, but he's like, don't
a
drag
little bit
other
of the
people
bubbly.
into
That's it.
this.
Want some bubbly?
Right.
Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Prince Devitt is back, bitches, but I'm not gonna lie, some of the shit WWE on Fox says is lame, but most of their shit is fucking hilarious.
I'm not gonna lie, some of the shit WWE on Fox says is lame, but yeah, some of it's funny. Like some of it's stupid, but like some of it's really funny. Real rock and roller. Thanks for the $3, dude. It's almost like some like retarded guys handling that account. Like I'm not even kidding.
Real rock and roll. I love that
so
song
weird
for his entrance.
Yeah, dude. Go just.
They brought back Bloody Sunday as well, so that's cool.
That's cool.
Let's have a fart off, rolling on the floor, laughing face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy.
Thank you, Extreme Payback with the super chat party.
Gotta have Tommy here for the fart off.
Yeah, we'll have Tommy go. Tommy'd probably win because every time he does, it's like I think Tommy shit himself. The
last time he sent me an audio message, I can hear him farting in the background.
Yeah, it's like he's always doing it.
I forgot. I wanted to send it to play it, but he was talking about some personal stuff. And I was like, damn it! I really wish because you could just hear him talking and they're ripping him in the background. I'm like, are you shitting yourself while messaging me?
This dude's sick. I don't know what I'd give Raw. I'm probably gonna give Raw like a 3 out of 10, maybe 4 out of 10 tonight.
I'm at a 3. I've been holding it up.
There wasn't enough good wrestling. If they had a little bit better wrestling to save some of this, but we couldn't really even get that.
And I guarantee we're going to see Natalya and Carmella, or I always want to say Carmella, Charlotte, Jesus, be the next women's champions, tag champs. I have a feeling that's why they threw them together, because they can't keep having Becky Lynch go against Charlotte, and they can't have her go against Natalya again. We saw that at SummerSlam, and we've seen her and Charlotte endlessly for over the past, year and a half, almost 2 years, So what are they going to do with those two stars? They're top talent. They have no feud to go through right now. So let's turn them into a tag team, and I guarantee they're going to win the belts. It'll happen probably around Survivor Series, right after NXT.
There's way too many belts, man. This is the reason. Like, there's just everything is a belt, and it's like nothing matters. Because everything is
AJ
about.
Styles was the U.S. champion because it blends in with the OC thing. That's frustrating. People are like, "Oh, I think AOP will win this tag tournament at Crown Jewel," and I'm like, "Really?" Because we haven't seen them, so that'll be their re-debut, and that'll be the time for them to shine. I just don't see WWE putting that much into them. I don't. They were so good in NXT, so good, and their main roster run was just beyond lackluster. So sad.
Yeah, I agree.
There's so many people like that where you're like, what the hell happened? How did you? And that was one of those gimmicks that just didn't need much. It just worked. They're just silent badasses.
Right.
Just let them go in, destroy, and walk out, and that would work because their in-ring abilities would back it up. They didn't need these vignettes where they're speaking, different languages and it didn't need to explain anything. Their goddamn wrestling did it all.
Well, on the phone with us now is Capital Murder.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Hey, I was there live, so I was hoping I got through, so that's cool.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, shit, yeah.
We talked a few months back. I was debating if I should go, but I took my wife. She had never been there.
Much better live, so that's good.
It was interesting. It was interesting to see her take it. She actually had fun. Interestingly enough, she said the most exciting thing was the ending with Rusev and well, actually, because it was kind of a slow card. I mean, even live, the first match, she was wondering why it went so long, and that's just kind of an opinion of someone who doesn't really watch. Mine was, I thought it was, I don't know what it looked like on TV too much. I was a little surprised to see the Paige angle. But I don't know. It seemed like kind of a slow card. I wonder if did the crowd sound dead on TV? They didn't seem very, other than Orton and Lana. Orton and Lana, they got real loud for. But that's about it.
Yeah,
Becky Lynch.
You guys, there was a couple times where you guys were pretty loud for some things, like pretty popping for some of the stories. But it was kind of it felt like a casual crowd. It felt like you were buying into some of the stuff they wanted you to buy into, but people were pretty excited, but also it was kind of quiet at times too. So it was not the best, but it just felt like a casual crowd. People were kind of excited, but
they didn't really give you many reasons to cheer. I mean, you guys had to sit through that Chicago Cubs tag match. Apparently,
we went to go get a pretzel during that.
I don't blame you. That was Evan Bourne's brother, Mike Seidel, and Kyle Roberts. So,
oh really?
They did a good job. Figure. It was cool to see them, but it was like, what are they doing with the Raiders, man? They're the champions. They're having squash matches as the champions.
That's what I'm saying. This is where they should be facing, credible teams and dominating.
But again, Jake, I'll take this over them facing like another team that beats them in a non-title match. Or
yeah, exactly, because that's always what happens. The champions and lose in non-title matches. So.
And last,
they had the dark match. They had the dark match. They had Rollins and Wyatt, and it was the red light again. And the people around where we were sitting seemed to not be a fan of the red light. Also,
it's hard to see. It's distracting. Gives you a headache. Everyone. That's what everyone says.
I actually couldn't even. I couldn't even see the. Usually, I can see the cage when they do it, but it was covered really well. I didn't even see it the whole night. But they brought it down, and I don't know if people were. I think people were expecting a little bit more out of the Fiend's entrance. It seemed a little bit rushed. Like as the cage was dropping, Rollins was already out there, ready to go. Like as the cage was coming down, like he just wanted to get in. He probably curb stomped him like 30 times. Like people were like, "What the fuck?"
And what was it? That was just the finish where he escaped again.
Yeah, Rollins. It was the same. He got it as soon as his music hit. We headed towards the door, but when they first showed Seth on the screen in the back before he came out, he got a pretty big boo. I was like, wow, this is even more than usual. So that was interesting to me. Like it was almost the kind of boo you'd expect from a ruthless aggression, like a top heel. Like and then he did the burn it down thing again, and no one. It was very similar, but I feel like it's definitely getting worse. Like the problem is getting worse.
Damn,
that's unbelievable. If they're not back there,
go ahead.
No, if they're not back there ready to change something, I don't know what they're doing. How can they not change something?
I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, it's not worth it. They're not risking anything. They clearly have rode this strategy out with him. I think. I mean, if I was him, I would want to go heel if I was him.
He probably does. He's probably actually angry at the people for real too. This is one of those like life imitating art. Like, let's go for it now.
Oh yeah, Joe. I wanted to make sure I told you this. Vic Joseph. So I watched him when he would speak, and he's got some of the. I know I'm just bringing him up because you sometimes you say this dude is weird. He does some weird shit while he's sitting there with his hands, and he's really animated, and like Jerry Lawler looked like he wanted to knock him out of his chair. He just very strange. Like the second the broadcast was over, he like booked it to the back. Like I don't know, his body language was just very strange to me.
Probably had to piss. Like he can't get up to pee.
Or he just seemed sort of nervous a little bit. But the crowd reaction to Paige getting the green mist was, I don't think they even knew what was going. They did the microphone thing. People were like confused. Like it wasn't clear what was going on.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It wasn't handled the greatest.
Like, yeah, she got the mist, but since she can't take a bump, which would have made it very obvious, it was a little awkward. She was just like, and then got out of the ring and they walked.
Yeah, it's like someone threw a drink on you instead of like selling that your eyes are burning to death, like, and I can't see. So now when someone else takes the mist, like, you're like, why are you being covered now? Like Paige just kind of went, oh, you spilled a drink on me.
Yeah, she wasn't screaming like her eyes were burning out of her head.
That's what it should have been. It should have been like, you really need to sell your eyeballs are fucking burning because you can't fall over.
Yeah, really. On the world of Twitter, it seemed that there was a mass exodus of angry parents during the Rusev segment that left, even knowing that they had the Fiend dark match. Said people were just done and ready to beat the traffic.
I didn't see a huge amount of that, but there's probably little. I know the crowd popped when Rusev finally actually attacked Lashley, because I was thinking that they were going to do the whole tease and not let him actually do anything. And so when that happened, like I said earlier, that was one of the biggest pops. Or they were cheering for Orton like 15 minutes after he was done. So that was obviously in St. Louis. So that was cool. I was actually surprised for Flair and Hogan's. They didn't even get it. I was expecting the place to. I mean, they got better than what the other superstars get nowadays, but it wasn't like I was expecting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
figures.
Flair just kind of seemed like, he's like my favorite of all time. He just kind of seemed like he wanted to get in and out. You know, he wasn't very. He didn't seem like himself. And then Hogan the Hogan and McIntyre playing off each other was actually pretty good. They're live. I don't know how that played on TV, but it was pretty good live.
Yeah, the McIntyre and Ricochet and Hogan stuff, I said I was so into it in a way that I wanted Hogan to be 1990 so he could face Drew.
Yeah, I said that to my wife. I said, if this was I think I said 1980 something, but I said that would have been that would actually be awesome.
Yeah, like I really wanted to see it. They made me want to see that, and I got all giddy and shit. Then I was like, oh yeah, he, and I'm like, I don't want to see this Hogan though. But I was like, oh, poor Hogan, he can't. Fuck, I really want to see that, and we can never get that. That's crazy. That's what I basically was thinking.
It says something about McIntyre though, because he's on a level. He needs to be like where Rollins is. He is so good at what he does with his movements, how he addresses the crowd, and just he really knows how to put off that aura. So he looks more like a star than probably any of the other current guys.
Yeah, he does. When he comes down, you're like, oh, this is a real guy. This is a wrestler. Well, he's that old style.
The referee was kind of retarded though. They rang the bell before he got his thing off. I don't know how that looked on TV, but Ricochet started attacking him. He didn't take his little robe off. I thought that was kind of weird. But.
Yeah, I missed it. I didn't notice that, but that's funny. That's crazy. What's up to Michael and John and Denise? Thanks for modding. And Nate from VA's here. Yeah, very, very tiring day after this Raw. Very tiring. But yeah. Capital Murder, man, what would you give it being there, you know?
Being there is always going to help it out. It's rating out a lot. And it's kind of, I haven't been there in about 10 years, so I was kind of a sucker for the action and stuff and the live feel. So I'd probably give it a 6.
That makes sense.
I thought so.
A 3, the live point advantage.
Yeah, I would give
on
it.
TV, on TV, it would have. Yeah.
Yeah, if you
I wish we talked about this earlier. I heard about it just now, though, that Rey Mysterio got a little bit of heat because he asked they were in Puerto Rico this weekend doing shows. Yeah. And people were already really upset because 5 matches of the total 9 announced happened. 8 wrestlers that were advertised the entire week didn't show up. There was a 20-minute break for the 2-hour show, and all pages related to the event and promoter had been deleted. And on top of that, Rey Mysterio asked the kids and audience to chant "Dick Sucker" to Baron Corbin, and the parents started to boo him and got really upset.
What?
So apparently Rey had tried to get the crowd to chant.
Right now, recently, Rey was in a ring and he thought "Dick Sucker" should be chanted at who?
Yeah, it was in Puerto Rico, so...
because in Puerto Rico, a bunch of kids yelling "Dick Sucker" is normal.
Well, apparently he said, I'm trying, again, my pronunciation is shit, Mama Bicho or Bicho, and that translates to "Dick Sucker," but I guess he thought he was saying a mild insult. It was something.
Okay. Well, that's a mistake. He made a mistake. I get it. Okay.
So he made a mistake, but the crowd started to get unruly with him for that mistake. So it said Rey was a bit confused. He's from San Diego, and Mexican Americans, we don't use the word Mama Bicho. It translates to "Dick Sucker," and it's more of a Puerto Rican slang, often heard in popular music, Bad Bunny, Daddy Yankee, stuff like that. So he thought it was more of like a harmless slang, mild insult, but really he was having the crowd try and chant "Dick Sucker" to Baron Corbin, and the parents got really upset with him. And it's just so already a shit show. Then that happens, and the parents are really just losing their minds. Ugh, what a mess.
That's crazy.
Have you guys talked about the Matt Hardy thing yet? The free the delete thing he's doing? I wanted to know what you thought what that kind of.
Bray even retweeted it. Yeah, it's like I said. I think on Out of Nowhere the week before, maybe it was a Raw review, but they don't view him as a anything but a liability unless he's with his brother. There's just no value unless.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, he's definitely doing a good job staying relevant, trying to stay relevant.
Too bad contracts are still as lengthy as they are, and now Jeff has more time added onto his, especially with these charges coming up against him, and they're not getting along anyways with family issues and drama. So the whole thing's unfortunate. But right now would be a great time to have, Matt, with the broken gimmick. But we saw how that went over last time, and as much as he has all these ideas and things that he wants to get done, it just doesn't seem like they're willing to do any of it. So
one thing they could do with him is have him work with like character development people like Aleister Black or like Bray Wyatt. Have him work with them creatively. That'd be really effective, I think.
Yeah, I mean they could always do some type of like interdimensional thing or something, but it just doesn't.
I mean, if you're gonna pay someone, why wouldn't you use them? I never understood that about Vince. He'll just pay someone and not use them. So I guess if you got the money, it doesn't matter. But
one of the things I saw earlier is was the Tennille Dashwood's interview with Van Fishfillet, and she was saying how like she never really got an answer as to why she was let go. They just called her and were like, "Yep, you're done." So she had that. She had that. Remember that she had her last match. Remember her last match she won. Remember we were like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
yeah.
Emelina, and
yeah,
then
she
that was
won.
it.
Yeah, it's something she did. She said, and she knew it has to do with Vince. She knows it's Vince, but she doesn't know what it was. And Emelina, he did the best. That was fucking the funniest shit back then. That I don't know why some things feel like they were yesterday, but that actually feels like it was a long time ago.
Yeah. That's
probably because I want it out of my brain. Well, Capital Murder, let you go, man. Glad you had fun tonight with your girl, and thanks, bro, for calling, man.
Yeah, man, I'm glad I got the call. I just kind of wanted to report on the crowd and everything. So you guys keep it up. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man. Capital Murder, baby. St. Louis, the Blues. Let me play this last donation here. This one's sitting here. Holy shit. It'd been an hour up until then. Dwayne the Cock.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it. Bubbly.
Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Here is the difference between WWE and AEW.
Already.
AEW is trying to give the fans what they want, and WWE gives the fans what Vince McMahon wants, regardless if the fans like it or not.
Right. You are pretty much right about that. Dwayne the Cock Johnson. I agree with you. And now we're going to go to another phone call. Harry Steve is still the largest donator. 718, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Yeah, I was just calling you, man, see how everything's going. I didn't even know I was going to get in.
Yeah, man. No, absolutely. Yeah, I know there's a lot of calls tonight, so it's kind of like a roll of the dice. But, yeah, you got in, man.
To know if you were still going to, if you ever got hired by WWE to do some commentating work, would you still do the show?
Would I do that? I don't think I'd be able to do this show. They probably wouldn't let me.
Oh man, that would suck.
It depends. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd just be
AEW
amazed.
might, but WWE I don't think would.
Yeah, WWE wouldn't. There'd be people.
That's the guys on the street. I think AEW would welcome, even if you were giving the show over there a hard time. I think they would still be, because look at JR throwing shade at AEW, and he's still there. I think it would be, as long as you weren't causing a ruckus, problems.
Well, I mean,
opinion.
I'd go by a different name. I'd go by my real name if I worked commentary at a big stage, because some of the things I say and do on here aren't even me. So, because I wouldn't want.
So online, you'd stay Joe Cronin, and on the air on AEW, you'd be fuckface motherfucker Cronin.
Yeah, it'd be tool bag. Yeah, but anyway, I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that, man, because I don't think that's ever gonna happen. But I would do whatever they wanted me to do. I would do, I guess. But yeah, I wish,
Wow, you never know, because I think the show's going.
Did we just lose him?
I think so.
Hello?
Oh, I lost you. Yeah, we heard you say you never know, because I think the show's going, and then you went out of. We lost you after you said that.
I think the show's going far.
Yeah, man. I think my show's been like growing slowly over time for the last 7 years, but I just don't know. I don't know what will come after that. I know that I've got more commentary gigs than I've ever gotten too. So everything in my life with this stuff seems to go very slowly up, like very slowly upward, but slow, like real slow. But so
like ECW, see you at ECW. ECW was real raunchy, and it was like rated R, but then they caught attention with the big companies. I think your show's going to catch a lot of attention too.
Yeah, let's hope somebody rich who starts. Let's hope somebody who's rich who likes my show starts a wrestling company, and then they hire me. Then I'll be good. Then we'll be good to go.
Oh man, all right. I hope WWE don't change you, man.
No, I mean, that's the thing is, like, I'm at the point now where I would be pissed. I'd be like, you know what? You need somebody who's going to be kind of a dick, you know, who's going to tell you whatever they want to tell you. Like the Vic Joseph, like he just appears to be a robot doing whatever they want him to do or something. And so many of these other people too, they fall right into line under the same robotic direction. And it's like, I feel like somebody's got to say to Vince, like, Vince, we have to humanize this a little bit. That's what made this stuff good before. You can't just over micromanage and create robots of everybody. Nobody's going to get over at all anywhere, and nobody is. And I don't know that. I don't know why he wants that. Somebody's going to talk to Vince. It's got something to do with him.
Wow.
And I'd be like, dude, listen, Vince, I'm 35, bro. This is my dream to be here. But it's also my dream to see, like, I don't want to see the goddamn company down to 1 million viewers a week. Like, I would basically say, like, give me 4 months to do what I want to do. And, like, and ratings are going to go up. Like, if that doesn't happen, fire me. Fire me if that doesn't happen. I have 3 kids. Fire me. You know, like, I don't care. But, like, someone needs to do that type of stuff with him. Someone needs to really get in there and go off. And thanks for the call, bro. I think some people are, and they're doing it the wrong way, a lot of them. But, I don't know, man. Somebody just needs to... Like, he knows what he's doing in many ways. He does. He's really smart. But then in other ways, it's like this stuff that they do is completely ridiculous. Like, and at this point, it's obvious, much of the stuff that they're doing wrong. It's just obvious. How can it not be obvious to them? Well, Jake, that's it, man. I'm going to give tonight a 4 out of 10, and we're going to be live tomorrow night on my other YouTube channel on the Corrupted Nation with Tuesday Night Throwdown. No wrestling talk there. It's a non-wrestling show, but I'll have wrestling news up right here tomorrow, podcasts up right here tomorrow, and a bunch of stuff is coming to Patreon, so make sure you guys jump on Patreon if you haven't been there. Come hang out with all of us, man. We'll talk about whatever, your problems in life, your problems with wrestling, your problems with your wife. I don't know what you want to talk about, but there's lots of stuff to be talked about, and lots of Q&As were just put up today for my other show and me and my wife's show. So if you can ask questions, send us topics, whatever you want, and we're going to talk about it on those podcasts and then post them to Patreon. So lots of stuff to look at.
Yeah, I genuinely really laughed my ass off when somebody called in on Monetize This asking a wrestling question, and you went to go answer it first, like you were pretty, nonchalant about it, and everybody else on the call audibly groaned, was like, "Oh."
That was
and
Friday.
Then the nuke came out, So
I think that was Friday, right, or something like that. It was
on Monetize This.
It's because SmackDown, because the SmackDown stuff's bleeding over.
It flowed right into it. Yep.
Well, that was somebody who was watching the SmackDown review, then was like, "All right, I'll go over and check out Monetize This."
Yeah, it was pretty early on, so it was funny, but everybody on the call was just like, "There's no wrestling on."
Yeah, we don't do wrestling.
It made me laugh.
Monetize This
Throwdown's
is
going to be excited tomorrow, so
yeah,
I'm pumped. Lot to cover.
All right, baby. Well, Raw put me to sleep tonight. I did not get my coffee tonight. I never got it. Otherwise, I probably would still be jumping off the walls. But I am dead. I have been murdered by WWE and by Raw. Thank you to everybody who donated tonight. Thank you guys for keeping the show on the air. Needed that. Need the help. Love the help. Much appreciated. Harry Steve is the largest donator of the stream with $14. He's going to take home that JCS Digital Championship. And thanks to everybody who is listening, hanging out, and having a good time. See you on Twitter at CorruptedPod, Patreon, Instagram. All my links are down below. Instagram.com/Joe Cronin Show if you want to get weird on Instagram with me. Hit up Jake at Countdown Ended and Countdown Ended on YouTube, Twitter, and freesexslave.com. That's another one.
That's the other one.
And
Titty Twisters Are Us.
check out Patreon and become a member of the JCS Army on Patreon, motherfuckers.
Lots of great content over there. So much bonus content. It's actually insane.
It is a lot for just me to do.
And I put out a sample just to see how people liked it, but I'm bringing back the once weekly, unapologetic and completely random podcast. Gonna just have various random things that cross my mind and feel funny enough to talk about. I tortured my wife the other day and showed her a bunch of gratuitous gay porn and made her sit through it. So it was pretty funny. Go ahead and check that out. I got a few more things coming out this week, and I'm attempting to upload some of the WWE 2K content. If it would stop erasing my save, we'd get some more.
Wow.
So it only happened 4 times. Hey,
I really got to get Leah to watch some gay porn with me.
It was exciting. She was not about it, but I made her watch.
If she was, it would be kind of weird. It'd be like, what is going on?
Exactly. Well, especially this too. There was firearms and
what the hell?
Disney characters. It was pretty interesting.
Disney characters, dude. What? Disney characters. What the hell? All right. Bye, everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and me and Jake will see you Wednesday for the AEW review. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm live every damn day. What do you not subscribe? God damn it, subscribe.
Hit the bell.
And leave some comments, leave some likes. I don't know, do whatever you can. And everybody go to my Twitter and retweet that thing about Hulk Hogan, because Hulk Hogan blocked Tommy NC. And he called us earlier, and he's really upset about it. Good night.
Yeah.
This is Wardlow from AEW, and you're watching The Joe Cronin Show.
A wrestling podcast with attitude.
Joe, if you're listening, you stupid fuck. He looks like one of those guys from Long Island that wants to be a white rapper, but he's 30-something years old, lives in his parents' basement with the droopy cap and the whatever, but he thinks he's Howard Stern, and he's got a cool way of talking in the microphone. And he's very shocking.